Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Robert Hughes, your host of the Hairdresser Strong Show, and I have special guests Brianne and Jessica from Darling Nikki, which is a salon in Pittsburgh. And if you recall, or if you're tuning in for the first time, this is part 2 of a series where we are following them in their pathway through opening the salon, launching it, and what the first year is like for being a salon owner. So welcome, Brianne and Jessica. Thank you so much for coming and being and having us sharing with us your journey along the way.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Hi.
So if anybody is interested in opening a salon, this is definitely the series for you. If you're wondering how to start a salon from zero, and with no clients, like say you want to move into a new town, or a lot of city hairdressers fantasize and romanticize, or fantasize is probably the right word, not romanticize, but fantasize about moving into a smaller town and opening up a salon. Well, if you don't have any clients, it can be challenging. And so that is the really awesome thing about what you all are doing is you all, we've established last time, that you have history in the industry. So you're not walking into the industry with no history. As a matter of fact, you had quite extensive history, if I recall, which I'm going to ask you to give us the quick kind of recap in a second of your backgrounds. But you also are an operator, so it's not like you're starting a salon with clientele, and so I look forward to hearing about this. So before we get started with your update where you're at now, let's give a high level elevator on speech on your background, and let's start with that for each of you.
So I have been in the industry for over 20 years. Been working as salon, front desk, and then salon coordinator, salon manager. I was managing salons for a very long time, from New Jersey to Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. In Los Angeles, I opened Angus Mitchell's first salon in Beverly Hills, and then was back here in Pittsburgh, and this salon became available, and that's how I got here.
Awesome.
I also was pulled into salons as a front desk person by Brianne. She called me one day and she said, "Don't forget this great salon, come." And I needed a job, so I went and loved it. Then my path took me to New York to do design, and then it took me to San Francisco, and in Seattle, I found my way back into a salon. I was at Jean Orez Salon and Spas. I was in their home office and also in their contact center, so I was constantly booking clients and managing people and relishing and loving it so much. Moved back to Michigan and then Pittsburgh, and had a call from my best friend who lives 5 minutes away and said, "We're buying a salon today." And I said, "That's great," because I thought it was she and her partner. She met me, and I have a salon now.
And here we are. Yeah.
Awesome. So last time we talked, it was you hadn't opened yet, right?
Right.
Right. And so you've opened. When was your open date?
Number 1, we had a big party and invited tons of people, had pop-up shops, had fun food, purple themed drinks. I may or may not have made people a little bit more inebriated than I planned. It was totally fine. They were delicious.
Very strong. She made strong drinks.
Yes, I have a heavy pour. And then the next day we were technically open for business.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And so what is the status with your staff?
When we opened, we had one who was, her name is Peyton. She's delightful. She was fresh out of school, newly licensed. So she did not have a book, and that was all that we had to really start with. And we started with her, and actually a stylist had heard us on Hairdresser Strong and came to our opening because she was interested in closing her sola. She had been in a salon for a long time, and then she wanted to go off on her own. Then once was on her own, realized, I don't want to do all this business. I just want to do hair. I don't love being a business owner and doing all of this. And she was looking to get back into a salon. And so she came to our opening, and we met her, and she was delightful and wonderful. And she closed her studio on the 30th of December and started with us on January 1st.
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that somebody found somebody who and didn't leave the industry. My biggest concern is hairstylists going for either greener pastures or they want to kind of step into the business realm, and which I encourage everybody to do, just going in eyes wide open. However, we do know that it's tough, and it's not for everybody. And but we also, the data that I have is the vast majority of people, when they go to a suite and they don't make it, they're leaving the industry completely. So it's really, really awesome to hear that. And as a matter of fact, I hope that is a trend where people say that it's okay to try something and say that wasn't for me, but I'm not going to like stop doing hair, So that's super awesome. And then also, it's also awesome that we were able to these videos and content was able to also help you all out. So does that mean that this person's coming in with clients?
Yeah, yes, yep.
Nice, awesome. And so how's the newer person doing? The one that you started with, the new as in new into the industry and new to hair.
She's killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Her family is so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
I love them to death.
And big family. She has a very big family with a lot of clients.
So we have them rebooked every single time. We've got mom, stepmom, aunt, grandma, sister, brother, father. We got them all.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
So she's
awesome.
Filling their friends, and so she's starting to build. And of course,
and we're following our model, which is we're never going to take clients from you. So I've got people at my part-time job that I have to pay other bills, and they're coming in and getting their hair done and getting rebooked. I have someone on the books for this Wednesday that I work with. It's her turn to get another trim. So
nice. That just made me think of I worked at a salon, and one of the owners, he did hair, but he was like really not trying to he wasn't interested in building new customers per se. And he was more interested in walking around, telling people to go see his people. And he would go to all these community events. He was really into the socialite scene. So he was going. I mean, whatever the scene is, there are lots of opportunities to connect with other folks. And how amazing is it to get a recommendation that isn't, you should come see me. Hey, I know the perfect person for you. One of the people that work for me is amazingly talented, and they're just for you. It's such a big difference when you're like, I could totally do your hair. And it's like, can you?
Yeah, that a lot. It's like, oh, could you? Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Okay, so so you've hired some new person. You've been open. I also saw that you were hosting a class. Tell us a little bit about the things that you're doing to drive traffic into the business right now.
Running a promotion, of course, because we're brand new. So first haircut, you get 30% off, and we printed out little cards because that does go far. We're right in this spot here in Pittsburgh on a main drag where it's just businesses. So we have an apartment building right next door. So we took our 30% off cards over there and left a huge stack at the front desk of the apartment building. And we've gone up and down the street and given them to the businesses and say, hey, we're right here. Come on in, get 30% off. We're also in an office building. We're not a salon that's just like a freestanding spot. We're in a whole building. And so we've given the cards to everybody here. There's dentists and doctors' offices, and they're walking by every day. So they have our cards to give people while you're here getting your checkup and your cleaning, you can just pop right over here and get a haircut. And knowing that men will be a lot more inclined to switch and come to a new place than women will. I mean, men will do that a lot faster than a woman leaving, her stylist to come. We wanted to make sure that our two stylists were up on barbering. So we had a barbering class. That's the class that you saw that we were doing on social. And it went really well. And people feel much more comfortable and ready to attack all of these people that are going to start coming in and have started trickling in already. It's just been a few days since we've had them out. So
nice. So I was watching, there's another video. It's kind of going around all over the place. I don't know who the guy is. I was just more interested in what he was saying. He has a British accent. He's doing foiling or balayage, and there's a bunch of students around him, and he's talking about what you need to do to build your clientele. He goes, he's like, I don't spend all my time making videos and pictures, you need that. But he's talking about how you need to go out and you need to invite the people who run the businesses around you so that they come in, and then they tell the other business owners and their friends who are also business owners to come in, and like you kind of like, so it sounds like that's what you're doing. So that's awesome. So are there any other salons nearby you all that you are like any different, similar, anything like that?
A couple doors,
2 doors down
in this building,
in this building.
but
Okay.
they've been there for like 30 years. It's a very just established kind of place. They have like their specific clientele, and that's kind of it. We're a totally different vibe, much younger. One of my other businesses that I run, there was a woman who was so excited to see on that social media I posted about this, and she's a therapist, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right near my practice, and I have so many like my trans patients, and I'm sending them like we're just outside of Pittsburgh," and she said I have to send them like into the city to get gender affirming haircuts and all of this, and are you guys able to take them? And it's, absolutely, of course, like with everybody. So she came over and got a bunch of our cards and is giving them to her clientele, so they have a safe place that they can come and don't have to go so far outside of their little radius
community.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. That's incredible. So, is this other salon, not, is it like an older space, older clientele, and so they would not necessarily maybe be the place that a person who's looking for a gender affirming haircut would necessarily think to go? Is that type of place?
We love them, and they're very sweet.
If you were judging a book by its cover, you would say they don't do my style.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that's a big differentiator. Your whole like the style of the type of customer, the type of haircuts, the type of like look it's not just the vibe. It's like the production, like what are you producing that's walking out the door is also different.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's great. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So tell us what are you we talked about doing a walkthrough, and we definitely want to see the spot. I can see behind you that you've already done a bunch of stuff, and I love that y'all are the hair and the theme, the color themes and stuff. I love the branding. I'm a huge fan of the branding. So all right, so where are you at? Like, I mean, feel like we talked about where you're at. What are you looking at for the next few months, and in terms of hiring, growth? This is a chance to like say what you want, and not only what you plan on doing.
We have a few other stylists that we have been talking to, a few people that are in the same position as Megan, our second stylist, who I'm in a suite. I don't want to be anymore. I'm really not happy. I'd like to just close that and not have that on my plate anymore. And I think we talked about last time that I also have a shear sharpening business. So I'm not interested in going into salons that I already work in and just poaching their people. So we're really looking for those suite owners that just don't want to do it anymore and want to come here. So we've been talking to a few people, and that's, we have 4 chairs, but we're not necessarily looking for people who are just going to be here 10 hours a day full time. And we could have 12 people on 4 chairs and just do what works for everybody. We really want to do flexible schedules and make that work for us and for our stylists as well.
We've been building our education as well. So you saw our barbering class. We've got another class already set up for the stylists in a few months, because we don't want to
Nice.
start that.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course, they're telling us what things that they want to focus on and what education they would like us to get for them. And so we are a Summit Salon, which I think I told you last time was because of all of your episodes with Lori Green and everything that she had to say at El Marie Salon about Summit. And we were like, we have to join Summit. So we started with Summit from the very beginning. So rather than switching things over, they're helping us build this the right way. And so we're talking about a lot of different education with them based on what our 2 stylists are asking for.
exactly.
Nice. Have you considered inviting stylists, like putting it out into the local area, saying, hey, we have this class, free class if you want to come in, or like here $10, something that, like, I don't know, some people have different, there's a whole psychology about whether you charge or not, but like but there's this whole like trend of salons hosting education and inviting stylists into those salons. And I always thought that was such a great place to like keep your salon as like, you know, as something that people know about. You know, it's like I know there's one salon in DC that would do it all the time. They're not around anymore. Mortal Beloved. They hosted classes all the time. And I tell you, they became a place where people wanted to work because one, it was a super dope space, and two, they had all kinds of great classes all the time that I didn't have to pay for. Like, and I got, you know, so I had to pay, we had to pay, but their employees got the class for free. It was like, that's how they figured it out. They would bring in like, you know, regional educators, but also like influencer educators and stuff like that. And so have you thought about doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. We also have some others. I mean, again, I'm in salons all the time with my sharpening business, so I know so many people, and we've had conversations about that. Like, let's get together, do classes together. There's some other summit salons that I know of that we were talking about, like, you know, joining forces and doing things together. And in this space, the girl who had it before us was an educator, so she was always doing education here. So we have a good space just kind of set up that we could really host a lot of people here. So it's definitely something that we want to do.
Nice. So this is great. So okay, so so far, what has been the biggest challenge or hill to climb, or the thing that you're spending the most time working on to get through? Like for the person who is thinking about opening a salon, and you know, it's your first couple months of business, it's I would imagine that there is like things that people would never know unless they did it themselves.
I think for me, I think that the big thing was I'm going to be asking somebody to stop working wherever they are for the most part and come work here. I mean, again, we got Peyton. This is her first job, and you know, she loved it, and that was great, and she's wonderful. But if I'm going to ask somebody to leave where they are and come here, I was really focused on the aesthetic and the vibe that we had to present, and get that out of the way first. There's so much more that has to come. It's not about just like putting a few pretty things in a room and then calling it a salon and being like, I did it. There you go. Like I knew that there was a lot that was going to have to come after that. But if in order to entice somebody to want to come and be here, we had to have a strong, like you said, a strong brand and a vibe, and it had to be pretty, and it had to be a place that you would want to come and work in every day. So we really, I mean, we took over May 1st and we didn't open until December 1st. We took a lot of time really flipping this place around and making it us what we wanted it to be and how we wanted it to look. So that was huge. And to be able to do that on a shoestring budget definitely took that many months to make it happen. So I think that was the first big thing, was to just make it look the way it needed to look before we even could get into all of the other things.
But for me, my brain was all of the minutia of, great, it's pretty, but we have to be able to offer them something, and what we have set up has to make sense. And so my brain was leaning more towards HR and compliance and all of these things in the vein that I knew them, and leaning on my friend, where it was, okay, well, what's the cosmetology compliance piece? And we both had to rein each other in. Like, yes, I know you want the brand to be strong, but if we don't have anything to back up the brand, I'm going to lose my mind. And she said to me, if this doesn't look correct, no one's going to come here, and it won't matter how many documents you have. So we've had to balance each other out, which is fantastic, because now we have all of the things. Yeah. Like when we talk to ADP about payroll and what's going on, they're like, oh, wow, you already thought of that? You already have this? Like, yes, that's handled. Sure. Tell me the spot I don't know. Tell me the stuff I don't know. Oh, I need that? Great.
And Summit's been really great for that too, because of all of those holes where we were like, we're just going to guess at numbers, and we're just going to guess that this is going to work, and this is what our pricing should be based on the other salons in the area. And this, I mean, Summit really did such a great deep dive for us and helped us with all of those things, our commission structure, and what kind of benefit package that we can put together, and everything to offer our stylists. So that was a huge help and a big weight off of us to just figure it out. I mean, everything online tells you take these last 3 months and run those numbers, and then that's how you move forward. Well, what if I don't have
3 months
anything? I'm starting from scratch. So that was really daunting and really frightening to figure out how to set up those numbers. And Summit was great and has really helped us so much with figuring that out and feeling confident about that.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Well, let's see the space. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's do the walkthrough. Let's check it out. All right. Cool.
Welcome to Darling Nikki.
I love the accent of color that you have in here with the natural.
Well, even a salon, it was a stonemason's showroom. So we have every type of stone on the wall that he could possibly have shown that he could do. And we've had to figure out how to lean into that and make it work. So
I go clockwise here.
Nice. I like it from this angle.
Okay. And as we walk past the styling stations, you come into our coffee bar, water station. I'm reminded that you're filthy cute and baby, you know it. You can wait here in our lounge until your stylist is ready for you if she has not already grabbed you herself. And then we're going to take a little walk through our hallway to our wash house. We're at the wash house here. And then our favorite room, whoever says that about a bathroom, but our absolute favorite room is the bathroom.
I love that wallpaper and the stack of purple towels.
Straight back would be our color room and break room. And to the right is the laundry, but those are boring things that no one wants to see. You saw the
Nice. No, this is great. This is, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for you all having this all set up and they're ready to go and operational and growing your staff and growing their books. That's all so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I look forward to checking in with you all and seeing how the next quarter treats you and what all the things that you've learned and all the successes you've had. I think this is pretty awesome. So thank you for sharing and walking us through your spot tonight.
thank you so much. We appreciate it. Can't wait to talk again.
All right. Take care.
Bye.